Hello, everyone, and welcome to Awakening Adventures, where we hear real stories from real people who have had their own spiritual awakening and what they were guided to do with their new awareness. My name is Venus Castleberg, also known as the Home Whisperer, where I use my gifts to help real estate agents clear the energy from stuck homes so that they can sell with greater ease. Today, I am so excited to introduce my guest, Prema Love is an internationally touring multi-instrumentalist and voice alchemist based in Maui, Hawaii, also aka in Bali at the moment. She has performed at major festivals and spiritual teachers Ram Dass, Amma the Hugging Saint, and three Divine Mother Saints of India. She currently released her fifth album with highly acclaimed nominated producer Ben Leinbach. And we will tell you how to find her and her music here in a little bit. But really, I met Prima and I just this talk about somebody who has heart and just a desire to serve. We're kind of sensing a theme in the Awakening Adventures that does seem to be a theme of a lot of our guests. So welcome, Prima. Thank you for being here.
What an honor. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, just blessed today to be here.
Hey, so tell us, let's start from the beginning. So, how did you have your spiritual awakening? What happened?
Wow, so many twists and turns on the spiritual journey and path. And, the shorter version of the TED Talk, as I say, is just I was born into a spiritual family. But they also loved them and blessed them. There was a lot of stuff, like many of our families have, that you might call it karmas or stuff to work out. And so they were very spiritual and also religious. My mom, secretly was into astrology on the side and had astrology books and angel cards and things like that. And it was kind of, not really talked about. But when I was a kid, I would find her astrology books and I was like, "Ooh, what's that?" And I was just very curious. And she was into like Bach flowers and, flower remedies and things like that. And so, yeah, she was also very spiritual. And then that really planted that seed. And I've always felt a strong connection to the Divine Mother energy. And then I went through a huge spiritual awakening when I was 19. And that's like a huge story that, depending on where you want to flow, that we could dive into as well.
Yeah, let's how whatever you want to tell us about it. Let's go ahead and go there because what the point of the podcast is just for us to really be telling people these stories because spiritual awakenings happening more and more all the time, and people are like, I don't know what to do with this. So, anything that you can tell people about how it happened for you and and what you did with that, like how did you process that, right? Because I know that that's a big thing. Is people are like I became a clairvoyant medium when I turned 30, and I was like, what do you do with that? So
Definitely. Growing up with those seeds that were planted, I had to go through my teenage years, which were like rebelling and, not being into it as much, even though that spiritual energy was always with me. And so there were so many different things that happened. I got invited on a spiritual like pilgrimage with some people that I met that worked with herbs from the Amazon. And they invited me to Northern California. I was living in Southern California at the time, and I was working as a vegan chef at a restaurant. And they had these like tinctures of herbs from the Amazon, and they invited me to go on this journey up to hot springs and experience sound healing. And I had never experienced any of that. It was all kind of new for me. And so I went on a road trip with them, and it was life changing, and it opened my world and expanded my consciousness, and so many other things happened along the way. And then I went on a journey I was guided actually. I've been following my dreams and my visions and my intuition for many, many years. And it's only gotten stronger. And so I followed guidance that led me to the Big Island, Hawaii. And while I was there, I went through a big, just expansion, awakening, and all these songs started coming to me. I hadn't written a lot of songs before then. And I spent time, that's the energy of the divine feminine energy, the goddess Pele, the volcano. And just that fire of transformation and that raw primal energy just awakened something in me. And shortly after that, I had a dream and I met my spiritual teacher. You can see a photo of her here, and she's the hugging saint. Her name's Amma, and she's hugged millions of people all around the world. And that was actually when my spiritual journey really officially began in a way, because she really ignited so much and she made so much clear. And being in the presence of a spiritual master, like a real deal teacher like that, it's just transformational, and it really set me out on my journey that I'm living now.
That's awesome. So, what would you say were like the gifts or the abilities that opened up in your awakening?
Well, I would say the dreams and the visions started opening a lot, and also just following my intuition through listening to synchronistic things that would happen, whether that was a reoccurring song on the radio, finding a feather, like just knowing at the perfect magical moment of what I needed, the message would come. And I had a friend in my life, and she really taught me a lot about listening to animal medicine. There's an amazing book called Animal Speaks by Ted Andrews, and that really opened a world for me, connecting to the elementals like dragonflies and the messages from spirit, from the spirit world. And then also crossed over loved ones were coming in. And part of what happened for me actually was I had another teacher. So this is what I call like my guru. It just means one who brings you from the darkness to the light. We have a misconception of what that means here in the West, but I had many different teachers. There's many different gurus that come into our lives and that support our path of awakening and transformation. And I had so many, but one of them was one I studied intuition with. And actually that was the first time that opened for me, being in a safe container where that was okay to see what I was seeing in the visions and the guidance. And it was like I lifted this veil, and it's just like I couldn't stop after that. And so I started doing intuitive readings with people internationally, from all around the world. And I still to this day, that's part of my offering. So yeah, it's been radical, transformation after the next ever since meeting my teacher in this whole journey.
That's beautiful. So, how I ask this a lot of my guests, but I really wonder, like, how did you come to trust your awareness?
Hmm. I feel like I came to trust my awareness. Well, I had the support of my teacher, and that helps so much because being with someone that's embodied is just grounding. And I feel like in my younger years on my spiritual journey, I'd be floating out of my body in a lot of ways. And I think part of that was I wasn't integrated, and I also came from trauma in my family. So as I started doing shadow work and integration work, I was able to like really ground it in. So since, for over 20 years, like I shared, these songs would come to me, and I feel they come like from above, like down through my crown chakra, the different centers. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, when those started opening, then I was able to really like ground those in. So I feel like learning to listen to ourselves is really trusting ourselves. And it's trusting that guidance. And it's a knowing that happens. And once you are in that embodiment and you know who you are, you just trust that intuition, you trust that guidance, and it's just unwavering.
Right. Yeah. I do know that, sometimes in the beginning, that's not the easiest thing, right? So you're like, I see these things, I know these things. How do I know these things? Um, if you could go back and tell yourself something in the beginning days, what would you have told yourself?
Mm. I would just tell myself that it takes practice, and so be patient with yourself. And also, having tools and spiritual teachers and guidance really, really helps. And like I shared, that particular teacher opened a world for me. And so just feeling safe in that. And I feel like there's so many epic teachings and teachers that can support us on the journey. And now we have so many tools, we have access to so much. during that time, there wasn't as much. And so, yeah, just, calling on that support, really.
Yeah. So, interesting question. What are your beliefs about God, source? Like, how do you relate to that energy?
I mean, for me, it's all one. It's very universal and multidimensional. And in the higher truth, the divine, the beloved source, whatever you want to call it, is formless. We have all these names and these forms to help us, and they can be a tool, right? That's why I have a picture of my teacher, for example, or even, Ganesha, he's known as the elephant god, because when we see these forms, it reminds us of the truth of who we are, because we forget sometimes. So I feel like, and these hold different aspects of us, right? So they activate different parts of us so we can remember and ultimately come home to ourselves.
I love that. That's beautiful. Um, so I get that your picture and Ganesh, but what are maybe some other tools that help you remember who you are, who you truly are?
I mean, for me, my biggest tool has been sacred music. That has been life changing for me, and so I came in singing as a child. My father sang to me in the womb, and then that's really been my main focus and mission. And my teacher actually says that sacred music is actually one of the highest forms of meditation, and that's my main way I meditate. And actually, during this day and age, it was one of the easiest ways for us to connect to spirit, to source. So I would say that was the medicine for me and a tool for transformation.
Wonderful. Well, I heard that you are willing to maybe share a little music with us. Would you be willing to do that now?
Yeah, that would be great. I'd love to. So just intuitively, what was already coming in, and that's the thing with intuition, it's not something you have to think about a lot. It's not something you question. So for reasons that I don't need to know, today the song that wants to come through is a song for forgiveness. And it's called Ho'oponopono. And I lived in Hawaii for 9 years and on and off my whole childhood. Now I'm living in Bali, as you shared, but this is a traditional practice from Hawaii. And it was originally utilized like when a family had stuff coming up, miscommunication, something happened, they would sit together in a council and they would talk about it and they would move through it. So this is really like a modern day of this practice, and it's been super powerful. So we can do it for ourselves, and maybe even, bringing in that awareness of self-forgiveness, maybe for ways that we haven't trusted ourselves, that we've abandoned ourselves, that we haven't listened to ourselves and our intuition. And so then from here on out, we can shift that through this song and through this practice. And so, and how are you hearing me? Can you hear the guitar?
Yeah.
Great. So the mantra is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, I thank you. And so I'm going to add a little bit of the guided meditation that I've now practiced with thousands of people all around the world. So if you'd like to do the practice, you just put one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly, taking a deep breath in, and breathing out, releasing, grounding into this present moment. So calling all of yourself back home in full compassion, full forgiveness. Calling your little one home, that inner child. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, I thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, I thank you. feeling anything that needs to be felt. Another deep breath in. Making some sound if you need to release. And I was getting this next round, it's a little different, but this is what's coming through today. There were times that we weren't able to use our intuition, that our gifts were shut down. It wasn't safe, maybe because of religious things that were happening, or anything else that was happening where it wasn't safe to access our gifts. So this round is going to be for forgiving those who maybe judged us, who tried to shut us down, who hurt us, who were jealous, whatever it is that's popping in. This is for forgiving all those people, or anybody that we hurt. We ask for forgiveness as well. I'm sorry. Practice to integrate anything that came through for you. May that all be integrated with grace and ease. And another deep breath, welcoming all of yourself back home in this present moment.
Wow, that was very beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you guys are interested in finding out more, you can go to PrimaLoveMusic.com, and she says there's music all over on all the things, podcasts, Spotify, all the places. But that was beautiful. I've actually done a lot of Ho'oponopono myself, and it's just such a beautiful practice. Um, so thank you for sharing that. That was beautiful. So if you wanted, like if you could tell everybody one thing about if they were going through a spiritual awakening or just kind of feeling lost or alone or something like that, do you have one piece of advice that might help them through whatever they're going through?
I would say definitely having community, or Sangha, community connection, having support, that we're not in this alone. There's so many people going through this, there's so many groups, and yeah. And then the other piece I would say is being in service. That's a really big part of my life. And so if you're going through it or depressed or whatever it is, just be in service in some way. And it's one of the most fulfilling things that we can do. And that just helps everything flow.
Beautiful. Very well said. I would agree. I think we can, if we kind of get out of our own heads, our own way, our own, if we stop making it about ourselves, we make it about somebody else. It's interesting how the stuff that we're making about ourselves goes away or just kind of melts because you're not thinking about yourself. It's like this isn't a world of like what's in it for me. It's a world of what can I give, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, what contribution can I be? And I love what you said too about community. I think I agree. And I just want to encourage people. I highly like coaches, gurus, whatever. And some you pay for, some you don't. I've seen value in both. Um, so, do what works for you. Like don't feel like you have to go pay for a high ticket coach if you don't have the money. There's people out there giving service for free. So, um, just kind of, but follow your own intuition and your knowing around who would be best for you. So, um, well, thank you, Prima. Is there anything closing today? The song totally has me all blissed out, but
Yeah,
um,
that's the last thing I would say really is like see how that song, it's all frequency, everything's vibration, and how that shifted the field and the energy so much. And it brought like a calm and a grounding and a clarity. And so I would say, if you're going through an awakening, definitely do some research, go to some sound healings. Sound is one of the powerful tools that we have. Go to some kirtans, that's sacred chanting offerings. Bring in the music element because music is such a healer, and we got to see an example of that today, how it shifted so much for us.
yeah, beautiful. Yes, so true. And again, I'll just say that primalovemusic.com. Make sure you go there and check out all of her offerings and learn more about her. So we're so grateful to have you as a guest on our show today,
So
Prima.
grateful. Mahalo, Venus.
And thank you everyone for listening. Please like, subscribe, or share if you received something from this. We want more people to know out there that they're not alone as we all begin to awaken to a new reality. And if you know anyone with a home with some weird stuff going on, please send them to the free quiz at homeclearingquiz.com. I'm so grateful for everyone. And thank you again, Prima.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
great day.
Thank you. Namaste.
Stay.